What's going on, guys? How's everybody feeling? We got another week, another Bills win, even though I picked them to lose. And here we go again with the whole, people are commenting, Greg, just keep picking him to lose because it seems to work, as if I have some sort of effect on the outcome of the game. Unbelievable. You should be happy this week. The Bills beat the Patriots. Did you hear what I just said? The Bills beat the Patriots. Tom Brady didn't play. Not their fault. They beat the Patriots 16-0 in Foxborough. They improved to 2-2. They got a division win. They got a conference win. Their season has a new lease on life. Granted, the conference record still kind of hurts being 1-2, and they might have a favorable schedule ahead of them. Let's talk about the Patriots first. The 16-0 win. Literally, my least favorite person is the person who's like, well, I could be happier. They could have scored more points. Like, I know. Stop it. They didn't allow any points. On offense, they did only score 16 points. They could have had 19, I guess. Carpenter missed a field goal. But anyway, they had a season high in first downs. They had 24. They held the ball for 36 minutes. They finally won when Tyrod threw more than 30 passes. He was 27 of 39, 246 yards, touchdown to McCoy on the opening drive. That first drive took over 7 minutes off the clock. They got 5 first downs, and they ended on that touchdown to McCoy. That was, wow, where's that been? They got the ball to Clay early. Robert Woods won his matchups. They got contributions from Walter Powell and Nick O'Leary. Tyrod threw to the middle of the field a little bit. They threw a couple slants. Tyrod was credited throwing short middle 5 times. And he went 4 of 5 for 47 yards. Now, granted, one was to McCoy and one was to Gillislee. But it's a start, I guess. I said they got the touchdown on the first drive. They followed that up with 2 field goal drives after that. They got 4 more firsts on the second and third drive each. Like I said, each ended on a field goal where you really want to see touchdowns, and that could be your complaint, I guess. All in all, I'm not too mad about it. The game felt like it was sort of in hand by halftime, honestly. The Patriots only attempted 3 passes. Now, with the Bills, nothing is ever safe, so obviously you want them to put the nail in the coffin. Just score touchdowns. Score as many points as you can. But very encouraged with this win. Like I said, they have a season now. You got to give Rex some credit. It's not his fault Tom Brady didn't play. It's nobody's fault Tom Brady didn't play except for the Patriots. Nobody on the Bills' fault. They allowed no points. And granted, that could be because Brandon Bolden dropped a touchdown. Because Gostkowski missed a field goal. Did you need both of those plays? Yeah, you needed them both. Otherwise, it would have made it a game. But you got them. The defense, touching on that, was very good. Fewest first downs allowed all season, just 13. Fewest yards allowed all season, 277. New England was 1 of 12 on third downs. Jerry Hughes was good again. Zach Brown was incredible, 18 tackles, a sack, a couple forced fumbles. There's another play you needed to have, the Zach Brown forced fumble in the red zone. Otherwise, New England might have scored some points there. Zach Brown won AFC Defensive Player of the Week. What a find he's been. Hopefully, they signed him to start, but at the same time, when the Bills got Ragland in the draft, I don't know what Zach Brown's role was going to be, but I'm glad he's playing now. Still excited about Ragland, don't get me wrong, obviously. But very encouraged by the play of Zach Brown and Preston Brown, actually. The corners were good. The safeties were good. Aaron Williams made a couple plays on the ball, was good. Corey Graham, they just didn't get exposed at all. Granted, Jacoby Brissett didn't really threaten you at all. He only threw for 205 yards passing. 30 of those were on 2 of the final 3 plays with a minute to go. So, and the Bills were just giving up screen passes to James White, obviously, and the clock just ran out. So before that, he really only threw for 175 yards. It was a good day. Honestly, it was a good day. Whenever you beat the Patriots, it's a good day. They were 3-0 without Tom Brady, and you're the only team to beat him, so be happy. Patriots fans can be like, oh, well, wait till Tom Brady comes back. I know. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But I'm just encouraged that the Bills, Cordy Glenn was back and did a great job. They all did a great job on Chris Long. They did a great job on Jamie Collins. Dante Hightower, McCoy making guys miss. Tyrod making guys miss. Good day for the Bills. All around. Now they're alone in second place in the AFC East at 2-2. Jets are 1-3. Very tough sledding ahead for them in the schedule. The Bills have a tough patch in the schedule midway through too, so that could even out, I suppose. But the Jets, I think, are in trouble, especially with Fitz having 9 interceptions in the last 2 weeks. Like I said, total fluke against the Bills. It sucks. It sucks. Total fluke, though. And the Dolphins are a mess. I'm not sure if Adam Gase is ready to be head coach. Bottom line. I talked about how the schedule is favorable coming up. It starts with the Rams this week, but then they have the 49ers at home, and then the Dolphins, and then the Patriots again with Tom Brady. Could you imagine? This is purely hypothetical. Probably won't happen. If the Patriots are 6-1 and the Bills are 5-2 in Week 8, in that game in Buffalo for first place in the division, wow. The Bills could sweep the Patriots. Now, I wouldn't put money on that at all, but it's there. Why is it important for the Bills to get to 5-2? Not only to get ahead, obviously. I think there's a 70% chance you make the playoffs if you get to 5-2 or something like that. I saw a stat, or WGR might have had it. Can they get to 7-6, really, is my question. Now, that's only going 5-4 over the next 9 games. I think they can do that. Then they would have to finish the season on 3 straight wins. Doable, because they have home to Cleveland, home to Miami, who will both be out of it by then, and then at the Jets. Could you imagine being at the Jets with a wild card spot on the line after that's what happened to them last year? That would be a nightmare. Nightmare scenario, but with the best, the outcome could be great. But it could also be a complete nightmare. Anyway, like I said, starts this week, Rams. Let's focus on this. Let's get above 500. The Rams, pretty surprising that they're 3-1 right now. They got smoked on Monday Night Football by the 49ers to start the season. 28-0. Terrible. Then they eke by the Seahawks, who they always play tough. Don't know how they do it, but they do. They eked by the Bucs, 37-32. Because Jameis Winston inexplicably didn't throw a pass. He was trying to sneak his way into the end zone or something. And the clock ran out. And then they honestly kind of sneaked past the Cardinals. And Carson Palmer didn't get a chance at a game-winning drive because he was out with a concussion. The Rams didn't score a touchdown until Week 3. But they're in front of the NFC West because they're really good on defense. The offense has been brutal. They are last in total yards. Dead last. 30th overall in passing. 30th overall in rushing. That equates to dead last. They have one game with more than 300 yards of offense. That was the Week 3 37-32 win over Tampa. Case Keenum is their quarterback, not even Jared Goff. He's only completing 55% of his passes right now. He's thrown 4 touchdowns. Todd Gurley, their star running back, top 5, if not top overall fantasy pick. Todd Gurley, averaging only 2.6 yards per carry right now. Kenny Britt is their leading receiver in receptions and yards. The most receiving touchdowns is Brian Quick with 3. These are not household names. Case Keenum. Should I fear the Case Keenum, Brian Quick, Kenny Britt connection? No, I should not have to. I should fear Todd Gurley a little bit. But I should not have to fear the passing game at all. Their offensive line is inexperienced, young, not very good. That's hence the reason Todd Gurley's only averaging 2.6 yards per carry. Arizona should have beat these guys. Like I said, Carson Palmer didn't even get the last drive. The Rams were just +4 on turnover differential. And they hit some big plays in the passing game. So, hold them down. Let's go. The Rams obviously coached by Jeff Fisher, who might be the most overappreciated coach of all time. Tends to he's a little bit of a trickster. He'll throw some tricky plays in there once in a while. They have Tavon Austin, who's a perfect type of gadget player, but maybe like Percy Harvin-ish type of player. He's caught less than half of his targets so far this year, so clearly they're having a little bit of trouble getting him the ball. He does have one touchdown. They have one touchdown on defense, but Todd Gurley has a couple touchdowns. But this is a very unimpressive offense. They're winning with defense, and the stats don't even really show it because they're 23rd overall in yards on defense, 23rd against the pass, 17th against the run. They just have a very daunting defensive line. Aaron Donald, probably the best defensive lineman in the league right now because J.J. Watt isn't playing. It's probably Aaron Donald. Robert Quinn, Michael Brockers, William Hayes. They're all good. Alec Ogletree, terrific linebacker. Mark Barron's there, who's kind of, had a little renaissance with his career there after being traded from, Tampa. And, like I said, did I say Ogletree leads team in tackles? Tremaine Johnson, pretty good corner. T.J. McDonald might not play this week. I believe he's in concussion protocol. If I had to bet, I would say he would play. But pretty good safety. But I still think that position for position, this matchup, it favors the Bills. They get Chantrell Henderson and Marcel Darius back. Obviously, Darius a little bit more important. That should help keep Gurley under wraps. Now, Todd Gurley might be due for a breakout game. His best game so far was 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. But both of those touchdowns, I believe, were 1-yard touchdowns. The Rams have no business in the red zone. Gilmore didn't practice on Wednesday. A little bit of an ankle injury. I don't think it's a big deal. Or he was limited. I expect the Bills to be sort of hitting on all cylinders. Now they have Marcel Darius back in the middle, who is probably one of the top 5 defensive linemen in the league. Behind Donald and Watt and whatever. Darius and Kyle Williams next to each other. They haven't done that much, lately. Only for 5 games last year. Darius was suspended for week 1 against Indy, and then Kyle Williams got hurt in week 7 against Miami. So I got expectations for that. I'm excited. You've got Zach Brown and Preston Brown playing really well. You got Lorenzo Alexander getting sacks. Quick other point right here. Don't tell me we weren't playing with 10 players last year on defense. Mario Williams couldn't do what Lorenzo Alexander is doing. Don't buy that for a second. Looks like Mario's completely checked out on his career, which is fine. I didn't think he liked playing football that much in the first place. But he may have had a significant impact on how that defense played at times last year. Significant. Just because he wasn't showing up. Anyway, advantage. Bills. Rams defensive line could definitely give the Bills fits. But the Bills should do the same. The Bills defensive line should give the Rams fits. And the Bills shouldn't have to score that much to win. But conversely, the Rams probably thinking the same thing. This is a home game against the Bills. We should have this. They're coming out west to us. The Bills are leaving on Saturday. I guess they've done studies on that. Try to stay on East Coast time. Whatever. This is a game the Bills should win. I give the Rams, I guess, a little bit of a slight edge because they're at home. But I think they're an overachieving team right now. Now I have to decide, as I make a prediction, do I have an impact on the outcome of the games? No! I don't have an impact on the outcome of the games. I'm not a commentator. We don't jinx them. And nothing. I hate you all that say that. I don't hate you all, but that was you get it. I was, using a bit of hyperbole. So I'm picking the Bills to win. They're going to beat the Rams 15-10. There you go. Bills over Rams. Guys, let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you think. What you think. Hit me up on Twitter. Twitter handle. Same as my username for YouTube. I try to answer just about everybody. I get in the comments. Stop arguing in my comments and swearing in my comments. You guys are acting like losers, alright? But I love you guys because you're still Bills fans. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. But above all else, go Bills.